Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty sad news going on over here when it comes to both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox ecosystem, where we're in this really awkward back and forth. Now, this has kind of been like somewhat being talked about as of right now, but it's kind of been happening for the past few months now. And I kind of want to go highlight this and talk about this where, as you guys know, there's a really big legal battle ongoing right this second when it comes to both PlayStation and Xbox. We've made a lot of videos on it. We probably will make even more videos on it too, where it's just they're trying their best to go and either get Call of Duty to stay on PlayStation or have Xbox just actually have a chance to literally buy and own Call of Duty and Activision themselves. But the one really big caveat for all of this big drama is you have to go and convince both the general public as well as also the proper regulators that you're not as big of a company as you may think, and as well that other people also may not think that you're also a big company too. So you have the court of like the public opinion, but you also have the actual legal court. And with all this, it's actually been leading towards a lot more worse issues coming out when it comes to games, game releases, and a lot of kind of internal things that these companies are now holding back on, and they're just not going like full gung-ho in terms of promotions, in terms of trailers, in terms of content, in terms of games, in terms of game releases, and everything in between. So to talk about how this is kind of actually a really bad issue, and as well, I kind of want to hear your thoughts and comments down below. But before we fully dive into that one, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 giveaway over there. If you guys want the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, feel free to go follow. And of course, the Target and Amazon links and all the Black Friday links too, if you guys want to, all down below. So very first and foremost, we've been seeing this on the fact that like maybe about a month or two ago, around the September time, that PlayStation actually was apparently canceling some of their big state of play and big game conferences basically that were meant to use to promote out the usual games. That they want to promote out a lot more brand new either indie game trailers, AAA trailers, or kind of let people get excited for the next upcoming year. Now, we've also now been seeing the same thing with Microsoft, where we haven't really seen a proper, good, legitimate Microsoft conference for the Xbox Series X, S, or Game Pass in also quite some time. And now a lot of these big internal leakers and rumor makers and all of that, and like basically the informants of the gaming community, are now all pushing towards one big speculation. And that is that a lot of these big acquisitions that are trying to be made, in the UK markets, American markets, and dealing with these antitrust and FTC markets, that they're basically trying their best to sway the public opinion and make it seem like there's basically no new games coming out, so both of these parties seem weaker than they really are. So we're going to have this little article over here, or so kind of tweet saying, Microsoft may possibly be missing the Game Awards due to the ABK acquisition. So that's more in regards to the Activision acquisition. Information comes from Jez Cordon, but is linked to Idleswath on Twitter. On mobile, or they would have done better. Basically, the rumors saying that they have heard mixed things now on whether or not even Xbox or PlayStation, because of like for other folks as well, trying that on in, are even going to be showing up at the upcoming Game of the Year award shows, where they've heard really vague rumors, which anyone can kind of say this, but the kind of bigger point for this is these past few months, we've been seeing a lot more of these internal leakers, these rumor makers, and everything else in between, saying that a lot of these events are going to be either moved or canceled, or they had plans to be involved with it, but with the regulatory bodies kind of doing a deeper dive into all of these things, that they are not going good. So the big kind of premise on this is, in my mind, really bad news both for PlayStation and Xbox. Because right now, they could, unbeknownst to us, they could have up to like, let's say 20 different games that they could potentially either tease, reveal, or do deep dives on. Every game studio, even Xbox, even Nintendo, always has something in the works of just various levels of if you can promote it or not. Sometimes people go like, say, Skyrim 6. That's all, the Elder Scrolls 6, where we saw a trailer multiple years ago, basically saying like, hey, we don't really have much, but it's in the works. Or something too as well with brand new, like say Cyberpunk 2, Witcher 4, with brand new Witcher game. Things like that where it's just a nice, simple, strong statement saying, hey, this is confirmed, it's in the works, we're gonna go make it. And sometimes we have games that are full more of a deep dive, let's say God of War these past few months, Hogwarts, which is getting pretty close to release, and they're showing a lot of gameplay and like these 45-minute segments and all of that. We see all this, and that's a big thing to note. But as we mentioned, the bad news with this is that these game companies want the public opinion, as well as also regulatory bodies, to not think that this is like a big deal. They want, like say for Xbox, they want people saying, hey, where's all the Xbox exclusives? Hey, Xbox keeps on saying PlayStation has better exclusives. Wow, that's so true. God of War and Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16 are so good. Xbox sucks. Like, no one wants to buy an Xbox. They want these statements. Now, I'm probably going to be still talking about this in my videos either way. I mean, there's like, you get to make sure they're clickbait, but also sometimes it's fun topics. You guys can't blame me. But when it comes to this, it's like, it's a big drama issue now. Because what if now we have this Game of the Year awards, which I will definitely be co-streaming up on Twitch if you guys want to follow. But let's go and say we have all these huge companies like PlayStation or Xbox. And well, with that, they basically just are not going to show anything. They don't want to show anything. They don't even want to talk about stuff because they just don't want the regulatory bodies to think that they're actually doing better than they are. Xbox does not want to release like, hey, here's Fable, here's even more Starfield, here's even more brand new Halo updates for BRs or whatever, because then they might think like, hey, this random, like, maybe Halo trailer got 1 million views. Apparently people care about this. Oh my god, this Fable trailer got 5 million views, and they're saying how they don't have any good single-player games. Well, apparently there's 5 million potential people that buy this game, so maybe they're lying. Same thing with PlayStation, where they want to be like, well, you know, Battlefield's not making a lot of money. You know, maybe other various games too, like Medal of Honor, which I wanted to talk about in a second. They, guess what? They're not making any money, or they cost too much to develop. Instead of actually taking the risk themselves on a normal business, they all want to keep on playing this very weak hand of, hey, we don't got anything to show you guys. And that kind of makes everything worse for us. Now, these games are obviously still in development, and people are going to be making these games and doing these games regardless. And obviously, if there's a huge game, they're going to release it because they want to make those few billions of dollars of profit if they can. But it does go to show that a lot of these places are just playing this really, really strong, like not strong suit, and trying their best to be like, no, we're Xbox, we're the third biggest one, we're small, we need this. Or PlayStation be like, we can't make a multiplayer game, we only make good single player games, could you please give us like all the exclusivities? And it just kind of almost seems kind of disappointing from both ends on this consumer side, because we just want games. At the end of the day, I don't really care if Xbox gets Call of Duty or not. I'll play them on PC, or maybe if anything, if they stay on PlayStation, I'll maybe play them on PlayStation. But as we go and see all this stuff, it's kind of just annoying, because I just want to, like, I don't like the fact that they keep on trying to say that, oh, Sony's bigger, oh, Xbox is bigger. Because in theory, depending on what you look at it, they're both going to be true statements regardless. Now, I think regulators should care about this, but the fact that we keep on seeing all these rumors and speculations and these big canceled events, all because of them trying to be not a bigger company, is starting to get to the point where it's getting a little bit ridiculous, where it's now like the third or fourth rumored cancellation. So I guess we'll see on how many games show up at the Game of the Year Awards event. We'll see if it's going to be a good showcase or not. But at the end of the day, man, it's a little bit of a struggle to even see this ongoing as of now. And this kind of goes and ties in other things too, where we're seeing even articles like this, where it's like, hey, thanks, PlayStation, for having the best exclusives in gaming going on. And I'm sure, you know, in a normal day-to-day business, PlayStation would be like, yes, maybe with the same lifestyle, some folks might be thinking, oh my god, this is awful, we hate this is bad, like, delete this article internally, because we want everyone to think that PlayStation isn't as strong as it actually is. Same with God of War, they don't want people knowing they're selling millions of copies and the game's fantastic. And, well, I'm sure Xbox is like, yes, like, they are way bigger, they're totally bigger than us, they totally have more people using, sales, everything, give us Call of Duty. And that's why, like, once again, it kind of seems all just kind of scary. Because, like, I mean, I don't know. There are good games, and I've been loving the PS5. I just want to know when all this drama is going to be done so we can talk about other gaming news. Because there's been a lot of videos. I mean, there's new information. It's going to be a big case. It's the two biggest console folks. Obviously, going to be a big thing to talk about. But other folks are even, like, saying this where it's like, yo, Elder Scrolls 6 is an official Xbox exclusive, and people are getting hyped up for this. And then people even on Twitter, just random Twitter folks, are like, bro, am I the only one who just feels divided about this? Because I remember playing the games on PlayStation or whatever it might be. And I'm kind of in the same exact boat, where just everything's back and forth. No one really knows what's going on. And what can you kind of do at the end of the day? And that's why even some folks are like, hey, should we just go bring back Medal of Honor and try to bring back Battlefield and bring back, you know, Killzone and all these other really good-ish games? And funny enough, everyone's like, yeah, I mean, might as well. I mean, the game was cursed. They had really bad VR reception or whatever it might be. But guess what? There's still at least options out there. So I don't know. My kind of thoughts on this is I just hate that these big game companies keep on canceling events. I hate that all these places are just not cool and they want to remove all these trailers and games and everything else in between. I hate it. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. Give us the games. Let us have the trailers. And I hate having to have these people kind of going back and forth on, well, this game could be bigger, better, whatever, blah, 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 blah. at the end of the day. So give me your thoughts as well down below, and make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 $500 Xbox Series X giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, Amazon links as well, and all the Amazon Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals too. Link down below, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.